USU soccer falls at home to San Diego State. For the first time in a month, the Utah State soccer team played host as they lost 2-1 to San Diego State Friday afternoon. The match was the conference home opener for the Aggies and marked a milestone as it was the 300th with Heather Cairns as the head coach. The first half was a tightly contested defensive half. The Aggies had several close calls early, including a Bailee Hammond open net shot that ricocheted off the goalpost. San Diego State would push early and often in the Aggie defensive half for most of the early match. Freshman Ashley Cardozo continued her top form play as she seemed to be everywhere in the midfield for Utah State. She had one shot in the first half that seemed destined to find the back of the net, but she put too much on the shot and the ball hit the crossbar. The game remained scoreless going into halftime. "I thought it was going in for sure," Cardozo said, "but then I heard the bink sound." Of the 5 shots the Aggies had in the first half, not one was on goal. "The goals are going to come," Cairns said after the match. The first half was physical matchup as there were a total of 8 fouls, 5 on SDSU and 3 on USU. The Aggies outshot the Aztecs by a total of 5-1, and each squad had 2 corner kicks. San Diego State came out firing in the second half, turning a corner kick in the 48th minute into the first goal of the afternoon. Mia Root scored her team-leading 5th goal of the season. 4 minutes later, after a ball was skied into the air, Aggie keeper Sarah Cobb punched it away but crashed into the post as the ball fell into the net, extending the Aztecs' lead to 2-0. Later in the half, the Aggies were on alert as key defender Miley Annis came out of the game, limping her way back to the Utah State bench. She would come back into the match nearly 5 minutes later. "Everyone's good," Cairns said. She added the team has a next man up mentality and complimented her team for being ready to hop in the game at any moment. The Aggies went on to score in the final 10 minutes of play as Hammond sprinted down the left wing and found a waiting Cardozo, who cut the Aztec lead in half 2-1. With her 6th goal, Cardozo now is tied for the second most goals in Aggie history. The Aggies continued to press and threaten within the final 5 minutes, stringing together tough plays and lucky bounces, but would be beaten by the clock, and the final whistle signaled the San Diego State victory. Utah State is winless against the Aztecs all time, owning a record of 0-6-1 against them. The Aggies are now 6-4-1 on the year and 1-2-0 in conference play. They will finish the weekend homestand by hosting New Mexico on Sunday at 1 p.m.